Control. Yo, yo.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1. On the troll.
Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about the case. And just a reminder, we have a third host here. And if it happens that you hear the sound of this host who speaks the language that you cannot understand, in advance, please forgive me. Personally, this is Mr. Anonymous asking you politely and nicely to take into consideration, yes, professionalism is important. I know you guys always emphasize on such, some of you, but circumstances, sometimes they push you to that edge. So I'm here today to make sure that you guys have for sure, as we promised, and just to apologize also, to show how apologetic I am. There is a one subscriber of ours here who send a message, and I'm gonna read this message because I want to make sure that no one feels as if we don't read their messages just because we probably do not take them serious. We do take everyone serious, but there is a lot of things that I have to go through, and then I also have to go through the messages that you guys send, and I try to cover as much, and also to go to the chat and also make sure that the engineering this side, the sound and everything, the cameras are doing what they are supposed to do, and that also requires me. So someone yesterday sent a message saying, "Hi, Emil and Mr. Anonymous, I don't understand why bangaqalanga nabantu ebebesendlini. If they have done that, le case ngabe seyiphelile. With Gininda, I do not want to say anything. Uzobonwa inkosi ngikhalela abatwana ababantu who will go to jail for no reason. Hi, and then this is the message that is complaining. Hi, Mr. Anonymous, I do not like that. It is not the first time I comment. You don't read or ignore because we don't subscribe, but I like your channel, but you hurt my feelings." And this is, there are many other messages that I have here, guys, that I have not read, not because sometimes when you read and the show finishes and you haven't read something, you don't feel the need or the urge to actually go back and read the messages of yesterday. That's number one. Number two, I've got a lot of things, as I've said, that I'm doing. I'm multitasking, more especially in this case. I also have that dead host that I have to look after and make sure that sometimes I get help by Emily. And it's not her duty to do that. It's my duty to look after all that. And unfortunately, this is the case. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying in advance, take that into consideration. Don't feel that I'm just ignoring your stuff. I don't. I try by all means to go through everything. Yes. Sometimes it looks like we are just prolonging this, but it's because of such that I'm avoiding that. People will say, "Hey, I say something you don't." No one is special. Everyone gets it. Basically, it's by luck sometimes that I go through or I say your name. I don't jump your name just because I hate you or just because you, I don't know, but it happens, and it's fast. It's in a fast environment. We're live. I'm doing all these things, juggling all these things here at once. The lights, everything. If anything falls, I have to run there. If the internet has a problem, I have to run there. So it's one thing to do all those things once. So that's why I say this, just because sometimes it feels like maybe this one is not taking me serious, is not reading my stuff, or is not answering me. No, guys, I do wish to answer you. And right now, it was better when I was keeping the phone. The phone now is no longer with me, as it's an independent entity. So it takes time for me to go through all these things now. Please bear with me. As I open the office, I have to open everything, the cell phone, and look at the messages, some of them that you guys left. But I have read your message, subscriber, and I hope that is going to create that remedy that we probably was starting to create animosity between us. I do not jump you, or basically we don't know anyone here except for those who do not hide their names and say them, like Boma Kanjere and everyone else.
Yeah.
But Nabo, we don't know their faces. We just know their impact here on the channel in terms of liking and commenting. So I'm saying this in good spirit. I'm not fighting. I'm just saying so that you understand where I stand as a person. I don't have anyone who helps me. I'm just here doing everything. Anything that Emily needs as is sitting there, I need to run to that thing. Thank you. Greetings in the name of love. Emily, how are you doing?
Hi guys, I'm doing well, Mr. Anonymous. I'm a bit tired, but you know what? We gotta go through the statement.
Yes, we have to, with much energy. Even though we're tired, we have to do what we have to.
The statement, family, yo. Now that I'm looking back, I'm rewinding icon. Yeah, this statement has a lot of things. It's got a lot of tea, as they would say. So yesterday we ended where he was describing the identikit, right?
Yes.
He was talking about how he saw it in a newspaper, and then he realized later on that they had arrested the wrong person. He says he noticed this via social media, that the person that was arrested was the wrong person.
Yes.
And then he goes on to say, yeah, that person was not there mingling nabo Carlos Mapisa Mthokozisi Muzi Mafiga on the 26th of October with firearms. Well, he continued on to say, I got hold of the cell phone numbers of General LISHABANE, who was then the head of detectives in Gauteng. I called and informed him that I have information. Oh, Mr. Anonymous, I'm going to need your help again.
Yes.
I need a charger now.
Okay.
I need a charger, but as you go and arrange it, let me use my backup here. He said, I got a hold of cell phone numbers of General LISHABANE, who was then the head of detectives in Gauteng. He says, I called and informed him that I have information about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He said we should meet at Tembisa police station. He arrived driving a brown Mercedes-Benz SUV. He says, I shared with him all the above information and my knowledge about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. When do you think this happened? You know, he wasn't very specific about the year that he met General LISHABANE for the very first time. I would have liked for him to be specific about what year this is, because he's making it sound like immediately after identifying that the wrong person was arrested, he ran and went to General LISHABANE immediately after. Is that the impression that he's creating, or could this have happened somewhere in 2018, 2017?
Look, when he met, isn't it he was working under General LISHABANE?
That's what he said in his testimony as he was testifying.
Yes.
But in his statement, he doesn't say that.
The reason for LISHABANE to be involved for the first place is that he was reporting to General LISHABANE as a superior. So he needed to go through him.
Yes.
Yes. That is what he's saying. So, and at some point, there is a part where he says he talked to him and he said he will go and do his investigation. Right? So, I'm not sure what he was trying to say here. He ran to LISHABANE after the first part of the investigation. Or this was the first time of encounter of having this conversation about Senzo Meyiwa case.
He says, I shared with him all the above information and my knowledge about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He said he will do a follow-up investigation. So after 3 weeks, he called me to say that the information I gave him is positive.
Yes.
but he wants to further task the detectives to further follow it up. So this is interesting. That
So now, in this case, LISHABANE is being used. If you ask me, but let me.
after 3 weeks, he says he called him to say that the information he gave him is positive, but he wants to further task the detectives to further follow it up. I find this quite interesting because after 3 weeks, he calls. So he did his own investigation, is what he says. And through that investigation, he found that the information Zungu gave him was positive. How he came to that conclusion, it's a mystery to all of us.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. That what is currently, if you ask me what I'm hearing, what is baffling is that he is, if you ask me, throwing LISHABANE under the bus. And one must not forget that LISHABANE, at some point, he was called to come and testify.
Yes.
And he never testified afterwards.
Yes.
Do you perhaps attribute that to such utterances when he was told maybe one might be forgiven to feel that he should have been in line with what was said by Zungu, and perhaps he did not agree to be in line with that, therefore he was not a proper witness for the state?
That could be. That could be because now going over this statement again, I picked up something. I picked up the fact that LISHABANE is being made the bad person for some reason.
If you ask, yes, somewhere, somehow, there is a point where it feels like LISHABANE is being thrown under the bus.
Yes.
As if he was colluding, or as if there was something between him and Makube and the Butelis that was preventing this case, or preventing this special witness to come and or testify or even say something big such as this one. Because there is a point that you'll eventually see where LISHABANE says, according to this witness, as it is alleged, that I told you to leave this thing. That, in my own opinion, is literally saying a police was doing the bad thing by not wanting this other police to report this thing or probe on this thing, which was supposed to probe on as a police, rightfully so, if it was supposed to happen like that. But when you are told, when you go and testify and say in court that there is a person who's superior to you who was trying to prevent you at some point because he was afraid that you might be in danger or something, what are you insinuating? But okay, let us continue reading.
Yeah, and also those rumors. There were rumors that General LISHABANE, apparently on that day that Gomezulu had asked for him to come and testify, apparently he was there at court.
There were those
on
rumors.
That morning, there were rumors. I saw them online that he did show up. He was lined up to testify, and then something happened and he no longer testified. So that to me is a very interesting rumor that I picked up on the internet. I don't know how true it was.
Do you think that something happened, or the state said this is their witness?
Oh, they said that it was their witness. And then he had to go back. So now, after the trial, within a trial, and then coming back, still the state hasn't called him.
And they're never going to call him.
So yeah, moving on, the statement of Zungu, he said that he informed him, General LISHABANE, he said he informed me that he had discovered something on the suspect that is in Rustenburg. He said he will inform the Minister Begicele and the then National Commissioner General Kehla Stole. He then asked me about the other suspects. I told him that one of the suspects stays around Tembisa and that he was dealing in illegal substances. After a few weeks, he called again to ask.
Now, many of you have been talking about accused number 1 being arrested for illegal substances that he's currently
serving time
serving time for.
Yeah.
In terms, I was on the contrary, accused number 2 escaped that part. Ne? Yes.
Not really escaped. There were just no charges. They dismissed.
They didn't enroll. It didn't enroll.
Yeah. The magistrate.
That's why I'm saying he escaped that part because of that. Okay, unfortunately for accused number 3. But you see how these cases now, they come in this testimony by Zungu, who happens to know all of them and what they do. They are heinous crimes, but it's the police. It's cool.
Yeah.
Now this statement that has to deal with Senzo is now incorporating the substances.
Yes. The case that he's currently convicted for. The one where they found ammunition in a black plastic bag, and then they found
Do you see the problem?
substances as well on
Do
him.
you see the
It was 0.005 of nyaupe, 0.005 grams of nyaupe, and we were trying to make sense of it. Was it a teaspoon? And they said no, it's a fraction. It's not even a fraction of a teaspoon. It's like. And then they said he was a dealer.
Now do you see how accused number 1 without this Senzo case could be outside actually?
Yeah, I see it now.
This Senzo case brought accused number 1 to
All
these
these
situations
cases.
that he's at now.
Yeah. Yes.
So when you say Ndanzi should be free, so is accused number 1. Just that courts are different. The Tembisa court would see different than the one of Rustenburg.
And then there's this other case that where they said he shot at somebody 25 times.
It might have happened, but there was no case that was pressed. All the cases were dropped. But guess what? When things like this happen,
When he was now accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa, it came to light and he got convicted. In fact, it
Exactly.
was the first one that he
Exactly.
got convicted for, and they gave him 12 years. And then afterwards, they added this substance dealing and ammunition in a plastic bag. And then it became a second conviction of his now awaiting the Senzo Meyiwa trial. And it's looking like they're going to get convicted, in my opinion. And I'm not going to be in denial about it because I don't want to be thrown off when it eventually happens and feel like, oh, but I'm not going to do that to myself. It's looking like they're going to find them guilty regardless, in my opinion.
if you ask me how I view this case, this is my opinion. It was either you are in line or you go under the bus. The names of the police that are called that seem like dodgy police by the evidence that is in front of the court. To me, it seems like are the names of the police that could not budge into a narrative. You accountable, warrant officer Makubo, Telezi, not as clear as you would expect it to be from a manager and someone who works under that manager in LISHABANE and Zungu.
Yes.
It feels like even he was a bad person, according to what we are reading here, who told Zungu to stop this thing.
Yes.
So, you are in line or you are outside the line.
He was interfering with the investigation is how he's being portrayed.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, that's how it feels.
So after a few weeks, he called again to ask I assist him with the information of the whereabouts of Moses Bia as well as his picture.
LISHABANE now. So you see now Lishabane is asking for pictures, but it's Lishabane who's asking for pictures.
He said, I provided the general with the requested pictures, but included those of Mafika and Danzi.
So for what good reason?
So he provided Ndanzi's pictures as well. But the question now becomes why? Right?
For what good reason?
He says, I did give him the full information about Muzi and where he could be found, as well as that of Mafika and Danzi.
So one would remember the intelligence, our intelligence that was used to find accused number 1 and accused number 3. Perhaps it is not far.
Intelligence.
It is not far in this case. It's not even hidden now. It's no longer in the hidden intelligence. It's the one clearly
Zungu told them where to find.
clearly stating everything.
Zungu told them where to find Muzi. Zungu told them where to find possibly even Tanzi too, because we were being told that it's an intelligence, right?
We were told this intelligence that was not clear. Instead of saying that Zungu is the one who pointed us to the direction, we were told that we used our intelligence to actually locate accused number 1 and accused number 2. Now we are told that this intelligence even sent pictures of these people and even detailed the dealings that they were doing on the site that were against the law, that criminalized them. So one person, and I need to remind you this, one person that only wrote an affidavit when these people were already arrested.
They were on trial. Because even
And
the
this
original
affidavit is so in line such that it talks about a black and a grey hood that happens to be worn in the appearance of accused number 3 in Boksburg.
while this one was typed on May 2023, I'm talking days before he came to court to testify. Days, literally. So this is quite like, wow. So it was done in May of 2023, and then he came and testified in September of 2023. So that's like a good 3 months or so. 3 months. Wow. All I can say is wow. So it was on trial. The proceedings were happening. In fact, we had just started de novo. Is when Zungu made this statement, typed it with Brigadier Kininda, in the presence of Brigadier Kininda. And he also said in his testimony initially that Mohali was also there, Mohani. It was Brigadier Kininda and Sergeant Mohani that were there when he was giving his statement in May. Well, he said, moving on, he said he will pursue the information and update.
So meaning
me.
that it couldn't have been Zungu that put these people in jail, as we are told, contrary to what we are told. Because upon Mr. Afro, the case was already
ongoing.
And there was no statement of
He
Zungu.
did not come through. He only came through de novo. So, also, speaking of de novo.
Which also, sorry, Emil, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Which also explains why I keep on saying that we cannot allow another de novo. Those who are saying
De novo,
a judge
come another witness.
must be recused, this judge,
Like
because
Zungu.
of 1, 2, 3. De novo gave birth to Zungu.
Yes.
And we must now, and what is painful about de novo is that you must close your eyes as if you've never had anything before.
That's the painful part about it.
We are told now that Zungu played a pivotal part in arresting these accused when they are questioned, and on what basis, what did you have other than their confession. We are told that there were other staff such as Gwabini, Zungu. So I'll not be wrong to assume that in fact, I can speculate that Mr. Afro was gonna probably be presented with Gwabini. But then maybe Gwabini somehow he said, no, not me, not on my watch. Maybe. I'm just saying, maybe. And then who was ready to be useful? Intelligence.
A retired judge.
No. Zungu. Because Zungu came after.
Or after Gwabini.
Yes. That's why now and then, even if people don't want to call Gwabini, they still refer to Gwabini as part of the reason why these people are arrested.
That's interesting.
If you look at it, just from the perspective of just chilling and then looking at it, what did they have when they went to Mr. Afro?
They could have probably.
What
had
did they
Gwabini.
have when they went to Judge Maumel?
Gwabini.
There were rumors that Gwabini said no.
At
Right,
the time,
at the
yes.
time.
And
And then
they are
from
looking
there,
for him.
we were presented with Mr. Zungu. That's what De Novo does. So when you think of De Novo, look at that
And I
and think
remember
it properly.
that letter that Miss Popola was suggesting or making recommendations, and like a retired judge would be best suited after Maumela was sick or ill and he could no longer show up to the trial.
So when we say don't give an easy way out by recusing the judge, which in my opinion, if you properly draft and go and argue properly, the judge will be recused.
Yeah, but I don't think
But
you
don't
should,
do that.
because we'll have another situation like this.
Umuhlanya luphethe isibhamu. Ongaliphazamisa ngoba lizosuke lisiphendule lisibhekise ngakuwe. That's what De Novo is capable of doing. Gives a chance that was never gonna exist should you have closed the case with the current judge.
And also this situation of him saying, Uzungu, he said that he had written a statement. Then from writing a statement, it became notes. He, as I was listening, prior to listening to the statement, I heard that part where Ramasipili was asking him that you are saying that there's a written statement. And he said, yes, I wrote it down. And then it was typed. I have the original statement
He couldn't go and
at
fetch
home.
it.
This one was typed in the company of Brigadier Kininda and Mokhani. But where's the original one? Where's the original one where you said you wrote it? It didn't show up. It still hasn't showed up. He said it was shredded. That's what he said.
And that shredded statement never saw the light
Of the court.
of the court.
And even the funny way this one was introduced and how, because now that I look back and I recall, I'm like, oh my God, Abaramusipili were feeling some form, one would say intimidated, in my opinion, right? The new judge was now presenting stuff like cases and stating cases of why statements should be submitted. But now that I look back, I'm like, why did Baloi go on with Zungu's testimony without a statement? Wasn't he the one who was supposed to have introduced it if that is something that the judge wanted on the record? Because back then when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, but Amusipili were feeling kind of intimidated and whatnot, and they didn't want to offend the new judge. He was still new at the time. And I feel like he took total advantage, in my opinion. Because I'm like, how was the state allowed to have Zungu testify? And then he uses a case. I was really doing a little bit of reading on that case. Mafuladi. State versus Mafuladi. I forgot.
What is the summary of that state?
It's not a summary per se because I couldn't read everything, guys. It's a lot. But then what I got the gist of coming from that case was that there was an issue with a witness testifying and giving a verbal testimony in court without a statement. And what ended up happening is that he contradicted his verbal testimony in court with the statement that he had given to the police. So because of that, they wanted to now introduce the statement that he had written because the statement was more closer to the events. You know why we keep asking ourselves with the people in the house, why aren't there statements from way back in 2014? Why is there a need to rearrange and write newer statements? But according to that case, the statements that were done soon after the events are the ones that are most relevant. And you find that when the witness is giving oral testimony in court, they get some of the things a little bit mixed up. So it was introduction. The reason why they said the entire statement should be read to record or on the record was to accommodate for witnesses who will get or miss some of the things as they're giving oral testimony. That's a gist of what I got. And I'm like, how sneaky. So this thing, now that I look back, I'm like, oh my God, we were so in the dark. So they let the state introduce Zungu without even introducing his statement. And then they come back as Ramasipili is cross-examining. Ramasipili is like, but in your statement, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But speaking of statement, might as well just introduce that statement. Remember, state versus Mufuladi. And I'm like, now that I look back, I'm like, this thing was, one would say, if I were to speculate, kind of well planned. How did the state introduce Zungu's testimony without his statement? How did that just slip by like that?
They started as if they had already introduced the statement.
Yes, and they never did. And now Ramasipili is cross-examining. He's the first one to cross-examine. Everything is all over the place. He's flustered in everything. And they're like, but you said in your statement, now you were saying this with Advocate Baloyi under examination in chief. But in your statement, you were saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they're like, introduce the entire statement. In fact, read the entire thing on record. Remember, state versus Mufuladi. And I'm like,
and that state versus Mufuladi gave birth to hearsay evidence.
And a lot of hearsay evidence.
Almost 90% of it detected.
So for those who are wondering, why is this case taking so long? These are the kind of things that are making it take so long. Very interesting stuff. Well, he said that he will pursue the information and update me about the outcome of the investigation. He said, I later learned from the general that they managed to arrest Muzi for dealing in illegal substances.
As you mentioned, Agri, you told them that he's dealing in illegal substances.
And he questioned him about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. Now, remember that Moses Bia, the first time he said he got arrested for the substance dealing charge in Tembisa, they did question him about the death of Senzo. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
It was introduced by Mgome Zulu, and now Advocate Nisi was in on it and hammering on it. While Bomukola was saying, no, that never happened. We never did that. That we didn't do. Now Zungu in his statement, he's saying that's what happened. So bazoyenzenjani?
And the statement of Zungu that was handwritten, and probably way before the accused were arrested. Emily, isn't it funny that the very same statement is saying he questioned him about Senzo's case. How did it know?
You know the state has done everything, Mr. Anonymous, to try and debunk this.
How did it know that this man was arrested on Zungu's on substances, and then he was also questioned about
Senzo's case.
Senzo's case, that they have been refusing to admit that it happened. As accused number one rightfully, seemingly said, I was arrested for something else, but questioned for Senzo's case. And then later on, one way or another, Kininda concurs with that, saying that it was a strategic move. You arrest them and hold them for others while you are. It's a cold case thing, if you remember that part.
Now, Zungu says that he told me that Muzi disputed information, but he implicated his uncle, who was well known to the general.
This is now Zungu, who just was giving evidence, assisting the investigators, but now he knows what was happening upon these people's arrest.
He says that...
Remember that.
Yeah. He says that I know Muzi's uncle was known as Buhle Spiva Ntuli, and I know that he was killed a few years ago. The general was at that stage no longer the head of detectives in Gauteng. So if he was no longer the general or the head of detectives at the sea, so this thing happened over years, should we assume? But he was the cluster commander now in Tembisa, and also the general. In my opinion, I feel now, re-looking at Zungu's statement, General LISHABANE played a huge role in spotting and identifying of the accused. He was a big part of this investigation. And now I strongly feel the urge that he should come and testify.
We should.
Especially since he's the one who investigated what Zungu was saying, and told him. And came back with a conclusion that the information he gave him was positive. He needs to shed some light on that part, He needs to come to court and testify and make it clear that Zungu is not daydreaming.
Yes.
He needs to come and confirm some of these things. It's very important for his reputation as well. A few weeks later, Muzi was arrested on illegal substances related charges. He says, I was then phoned by Buhle Spivantuli after his release from police custody. There's no mention of why Buhle Spivantuli was arrested and why he was under police custody in the statement.
Wait. Who's Spivantuli?
Is the uncle of Muzi Spia.
But wasn't he shot way back? Yes.
Oh my God. He said he was shot years ago. And now he's released from police custody. In one statement.
This is the second person who's alive and dead and everything at the same time.
I didn't realize this, Mr. Anonymous. I didn't see. He was dead earlier on. He died a couple of years ago. And now he was getting released from police custody.
And they called him from the grave.
Jesus. I didn't notice this, you guys, all this time. I'm like, okay, I'm just flowing. Oh my God. Then he said, Buhle said that he urgently wanted to see me. We agreed to meet at Tembisa Plaza. After a few minutes, he phoned and informed me that he had arrived, but I told him that I'm at the Tembisa police station, and he advised me to meet him there. He arrived in a brown polo sedan at the police station with Mafika, that's Bongani Ntanzi, and 4 unknown men. He alighted from the vehicle and he asked that I help him with 2 illegal firearms. I was shocked with his request, as I've never done such activity with him. With him? Then who else do you do it with? He says,
Kwabini, maybe.
they then suspected
Allegedly.
that they came to identify me in order to kill me. So he says,
He
I started
suspected
having
him.
suspicions that they're trying to kill me. With no regard to the information
To
I gave.
identify him and kill him. But he knows these people. They know him. Why would they need to identify him?
If they know each other.
They grew up together. They are homeboys. That is his statement. He said, we are homeboys. We know each other.
we know each
So,
other.
Mafi, we didn't need an introduction.
But the homeboys now need
They
to
came to
identify
identify
him
him.
in order to have him killed or to kill him, with regard to the information that he gave to General LISHABANE about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. How would they have known that he met up with General LISHABANE?
Very interesting. Unless then the General Shaban is the one who
Told them.
told them.
You see, that's
So-
why now it feels like General Shaban is being thrown under the bus. Because what is this?
A conversation between the two turns into being identified.
He says, I know that Bushes Pivantuli was a well-known taxi-killing hitman in Kabi, in brackets. In 2019, my sister was getting married customarily in Kwanongoma. Muzi was also present as he is from the neighborhood. He's also a relative to my nephew, Gwabini, and Gwabini is my nephew.
Yet they were there to identify you. Don't you identify or get a proper look of someone you don't know?
You do. You zoom.
So,
You look at them.
but it was a suspicion, I guess. That
You
would be
know,
his-
this is so weird because after so long since I heard this testimony, I was under the impression that they were trying to kill him. But there's nothing that happened here. He's the one who came to that conclusion. Or, you understand what I'm saying? There's no mentioning of, they came with a gun and they with the gun. It's what he testified. I think he later on testified in his testimony that there was a gun that he kind of saw, but it's not there on the statement.
And there was no shooting.
And there was no shooting, and it was a police station. If there was any shooting near a police station, it would have been news.
Even those ones who almost wanted to shoot him, they never shot.
Hey, yabona lo muntu lona. Yo. Yo. The defense team has a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do here. He needs to be recalled. These stories are not making sense. Well, he said that, however, he did say that he was questioned about the suspicion that he was involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. He said, I responded. He said that I also heard that he is involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. He did not deny it. This is Muzi Sbiya he's talking about. He's saying Muzi did not deny it, but he said that Senzo Meyiwa's matter is complex and sensitive, and he suggested that we speak about it at a different venue and at a later stage, because he was not the only one involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa, and that this was discussed within the families or within their families. Now, I have a problem with this part here, because why would Muzi Sbiya, after getting arrested, being with the police, a general, asking him about Senzo Meyiwa's case, why would he think that a mere constable can get him out of Senzo's case?
I don't know, maybe one can argue that Other people don't care of the rankings. They don't know the rankings. They just know that if you're a policeman, you can assist.
And why would he come to the conclusion that he can assist him when he was arrested, Zungu was not there?
Because, again, if you're a police and you take brown envelope, or you might happen to take brown envelope and there are close ties with that person,
so here he's creating an impression that he's the kind of police officer who does that.
No, he's creating the impression that he's not gonna take inchoncho even show we relative. He's a good man, very good man, who refused to take bribe or to even listen to any bribe that said he must not pursue the law.
But I'm not seeing that, I'm seeing that in all of these, when he's trying to portray that he's a good cop who doesn't do that, like with the firearms example, what I'm seeing is Lomuntulo does hang around dodgy people for the job that they do.
One thing for sure, and he knows what they do.
And
because
he
he's the
knows
one who
what they
says,
do.
I know Muzi does 1, 2, 3. I know. He, to me, is not even sounding like a police. I think you were going to mention it. I thought you were going to mention that. He, to me, sounds like Impimpi, what we call Impimpi Amapois. Yeah, well, to me, that's what he sounds like. And when they said our intelligence, it solidified that those intelligence that they normally talk about, these police, Impimpi is on the payroll.
Informers.
Informers. To me, that's how he sounded like. More than a police, more than anything. But I'm surprised because he keeps on referring to a gun. He was even driving a police car. Impimpa is driving him to some police. That's contrary to. If they said he was a Mbimpi, maybe it was gonna even solidify this
but
case.
He's
to say.
moving like one though. He's moving
But
like
the manner in which he
informer.
moves, he's moving like an informer more than a policeman. Because a policeman would not allow you to exchange guns, illegal guns in front of them. Only Mbimbi can do that.
They can watch you compromise, knowing very well that they're gonna snitch and then get paid, and then you go to jail. So that's what the vibe that I'm getting here. I'm like, but something's not right here. But this man is always at the
Too
time.
relaxed around the criminals.
Yes, and he's at the perfect place at the perfect time.
Do you understand?
You understand.
They don't deny that they killed about Senzo.
You hear what I'm saying? And they know he's a police officer.
They know he's a police officer.
He said that this while Gwabini was approaching, and it was clear that he didn't want Gwabini to hear the discussion, and I'm like, at the same time, but why would he also share this thing that can possibly take him to jail? Not share it with his friend, but share it with you.
Which is not used to more than Gwabini.
I would believe it more if he says Gwabini told me that Muzi
That's
told
why
him.
I said initially, I think Gwabini was supposed to take the position of Zungu. That's my submission. That's my thinking. It was going to be more closer, more believable if it was Gwabini saying it.
He says Muzi wanted me to assist him in suppressing the case of Senzo Meyiwa and remove his name from it by not mentioning his name anywhere. Why? Why would he ask of you something like that? It doesn't make sense to me. Then he says, we did not finalize our discussion as Gwabini joined us. So as soon as Gwabini walked in, the discussion stopped.
A very interesting question would be, why would he ask you that? Is that what you did when Gwabini shot Snako? As you said. Is that what you did? Maybe he knows from experience that you are capable of doing that. When they say objection, you're like, no further question, my lord. I'll leave this aspect.
He says, what Muzi did not know was that Gwabini was talking to me openly about Muzi's involvement in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. Subsequent to, so now he's including that Gwabini told him as well. But somehow, Muzi also confessed to him. What a lucky chap. People just tell him stuff.
Because last time Gwabini was even chasing him out so that he can speak to these people.
Yes.
And when he asked about the guns and all those things, Gwabini was not forthcoming. He never said anything.
Here he is forthcoming about his friend's alleged criminal activity.
That he supplies guns to. Stores their guns after that. Which is incriminating to Gwabini also.
So subsequent to this event, he says he received a call from Muzi. He indicated that from Nongoma he went to Mpumalanga. This is where now accused number 1 was saying that he never went to Mpumalanga. He doesn't know what they're talking about. He says that he wanted us to arrange a follow-up discussion of Senzo's murder and how I could assist.
Did he go to Mpumalanga?
I don't know.
Did they meet after that?
I don't know.
And because if you find out that they meet, it will be interesting that at some point you suspected that these people came to identify you so that they can shoot you, but yet you are willing to meet them on the corners where you are compromised.
He says that we agreed to meet when he's back in Johannesburg.
He agreed.
The same year, 2019, he says, I received a call from General LISHABANE, who asked me to meet him in his cluster office in Kluerkop at Captain Park. It was possibly Sunday at around 1700 hours when I arrived in his office. I met General LISHABANE. He informed me that he did further investigation and he followed up on the information Muzi gave him about the involvement of his uncle, Buhles Pivantuli, who was well known to him. So, General LISHABANE did investigations up. You see what I mean? He investigated. So the general told me, he says, that he had found that Muzi was directly involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa and the information he gave was accurate and correct. He informed him that he has invited General Sibiya, who is the head of the Hawks in Gauteng, so that he can brief him on this case and see how he will weigh the information and evidence that they have. Indeed, at around 1900 hours, that's 7 o'clock p.m., a gentleman arrived who was introduced to me as General Sibiya by General LISHABANE. General LISHABANE briefed General Sibiya about the information I gave him and also that he conducted his investigation and managed to link Muzi and Bongani Ntanzi about their involvement in this case. He says, I was also invited to share the information clearly to General Sibiya. General Sibiya responded to say, according to his knowledge, the information is correct and accurate.
Very interesting. General Sibiya. The man who allegedly was one of the few to be on the scene. The beginning of Senzo's death. I mean, at the end of Senzo's death. Who was there
the head
in
of
that
the Hawks
house?
there.
Head of the Hawks there. When the question were asked what were the Hawks doing there, the answer is found wondering. Probably the best place to find it is on the series.
The Netflix
documentary. And then General Sibiya, who allegedly at the time was not working as a police because
around
at
this
the time he was suspended.
Yes.
He found himself with LISHABANE and confirming
That
some of the things
is correct and accurate.
as being correct and accurate. This is the man who also did not shy away from saying that there might have been cleaning in that house, right?
Yes. He said
In
the
that-
scene was already compromised.
It was already
when they got
compromised.
there.
Yes. Very interesting. That's all I can say.
And now he's here confirming Zungu's stories. And he's saying it's correct and accurate.
And that is if he did.
That is if he did.
But yes, we can sort of have a 60% belief that there was a meeting, because even accused number 1 does
Speak.
attest to that meeting.
Yes. General Sibiya asked General LISHABANE, who was dealing with this case from the Office of the National Commissioner. And General LISHABANE said it was Lieutenant Gininda. General Sibiya proposed to General LISHABANE that Warrant Officer Makubo must be called to come through and listen to the information. However, General LISHABANE did not have the cell phone number of Warrant Officer Makubo. So why didn't General LISHABANE call Gininda as soon as Zungu presented himself, if he knew that Brigadier Gininda is the one who's handling Senzo's case?
Why look for Makubo
First. General LISHABANE did not have the cell phone number of Warrant Officer Makubo. General Sibiya gave General LISHABANE the cell phone number of Makubo, and he called Makubo. The warrant officer arrived after 30 minutes. General LISHABANE shared the information with him, and Makubo refuted the information and told us that I'm lying and that there's no such information and evidence that links Nkani with Fisokuhle and Zungu Ntuli. He disputed everything I shared with them and said that I must reveal my source. Warrant Officer Makubo showed us a picture of Nkani, and he said he arrested Nkani on other matters in KwaZulu-Natal, and that Nkani is not involved in the matter of Senzo Meyiwa, as well as the other aspects that he had mentioned. He further accused me of coming to them with baseless information. He kept on insisting that I reveal my source and bring him. Upon realizing that he wanted me to know where do I get the information and who is my source, I agreed that I will bring the source. The meeting ended with a clear understanding to me that Warrant Officer Makubo did not want to take the information I have shared with them. After the meeting, I left with Warrant Officer Makubo to drop me off at Tembisa police station, and I left General Sibiya and General LISHABANE. In the same year, I received a call from a lady who identified herself as Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi, who said she was a forensic investigator in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. The officer asked to meet me in relation to the information I gave to Warrant Officer Makubo, and we agreed to meet at McDonald's Captain Park. When we met, I realized that she was in the company of Warrant Officer Makubo. She asked me to repeat the information that I have shared with Warrant Officer Makubo, and I did. She further asked me about the relationship I have with the suspect, which I have explained. She also asked me if I'm related and I know Kelly Khumalo, and I told her that I do not know her, nor am I related to her, except for seeing her on social media platforms. Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi accused me and General LISHABANE of trying to protect Kelly Khumalo and shift the blame to the suspects I was mentioning. She told me that she had evidence that implicated Kelly in the matter and that the shooter was one of those who were in the house. This is interesting.
Very, very interesting. But I guess they did not do investigation, those ones.
Those ones he didn't.
Gininda did the investigation.
The fact that Colonel Buthelezi told Zungu that she has evidence that implicated Kelly in the matter.
That one, we are talking about the junior thing, that one. It's a junior thing.
So Gininda was not curious about this evidence.
Who did the investigation here is Gininda and his team. They did very well. Like, honestly, they did well.
Hayi mina ngiyayifuna le evidence.
Uyithola ke mangabe lo mfo oseqedile ukuthi ebe junior eseyisenior.
Hayi ngifuna ukuyibona le evidence bakithi. Uthe une evidence that implicated Kelly Khumalo in the matter and that the shooter was one of those who were in the house. Zungu said yena he disagreed as if he was there. He says, I disagreed with her based on the information I had, and our discussion ended with no fruitful outcome. So in the same year, 2019, I went to Telkom Towers at SAPS head office, where I met with Brigadier Gininda, then a colonel. I shared with him the information.
By then he was a colonel.
Yes. I shared with him the information and the knowledge I had about the suspects involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. The brigadier promised that he will follow up the information and do the investigation. On the 11th of November 2019, I received a call from General LISHABANE on my cell phone number, and he informed me that Brigadier Gininda, then a colonel, from the National Commissioner's Office wanted to see me on the following day, that is the 12th of November 2019, and I have agreed. On the following day, I went to the Tembisa Cluster Commander's General LISHABANE's office. I found the general and he phoned Brigadier Gininda.
So Gininda was not there in that meeting with Spear.
And
very interesting. There is a common denominator though, but I'm just not going to say a lot. There is a really common denominator here that we probably are not ready to look at, maybe because of fear. But yeah, I'm not going to say much.
And another interesting thing is that Brigadier Gininda was not there. And he says he was not there. But then Mukhola is the one who made the arrest or was sort of involved in the arrest for the illegal substance case. He took, as a cold case unit, they took over from the two sergeants, the young sergeants who had made the arrest. They just took over their docket and they're like, Muzisbia Mukhola now takes over this case. This is very interesting, and yet Brigadier Gininda knew nothing about all of this. Interesting stuff. Well, he said that they met at LISHABANE's office, and he found the general and he phoned Brigadier Gininda, and Brigadier Gininda told him that he will not make it to the meeting and asked that the meeting be rolled over to the following day, which was the 13th of November 2019. And he said that the meeting will take place at Captain Park. After speaking on the phone with Brigadier Gininda, he asked me how did Brigadier Gininda come to know about the information of the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, and I told him that I'm the one who shared the information with Brigadier. Haibo. So Zungu is saying that he's the one who shared the information with Brigadier. So he went over General LISHABANE and just decided to go to Gininda straight. That's what he's saying. He asked me to not further share the information with him, as he wanted the brigadier to hit the brick wall and not get the information. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that LISHABANE is being thrown under the bus here. He's
one way or another.
To look like a very terrible person.
Dodgy cop. So this cop wanted Brigadier Gininda to not go anywhere
with his investigation. And just hit a brick wall.
Like Makubo, who was not willing to work with Gininda. Like Butelezi, who was working against Gininda. Hey, this policeman must... This man is almost equivalent to Mkhwanazi now.
Yeah.
If you ask me. This man is working so hard in terms of work rate. Wow. All these police, they must arrest them. Can you imagine? A police goes to write an affidavit saying, my superior wanted me to hit a brick wall.
and not get any
That is an
information.
offense.
This
That
is
is-
a general.
that
And
is
you know, he was
standing-
still a colonel. He was still a colonel. And this is a general who wanted him to hit a brick wall.
That is standing against the law. And anyone who does that must face the full mighty
Of the law.
of the law. Here's the police testifying that there is someone who wanted, a serious police was doing an investigation to hit a brick wall.
But
Hey, my daughter.
he says, on the 14th of November 2019, I met with the Brigadier in Captain Park. He was in the company of Brigadier Tony. We've heard of Brigadier Tony. Perima.
Oh, the very good one. The one who was angry that Makubo didn't want to cooperate. And was very, 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 very disturbed by the conduct of Makubo
Yes.
and Joyce.
Yes. He said he's the one who identified Brigadier Tony as his colleague. And then he said, in that meeting, I was interviewed further by 2 officers in relation to the information I gave to Brigadier Gerninda. This is where I'm going to pause for today. I will continue tomorrow. This is where I stop.
This is where we stop. Press that like button. 443, 254. And now I say
The lines are now
the lines
open.
are open.
How do you feel re-looking at Zungu's testimony, revisiting it line by line? Tell us what you feel, how it makes you feel. What are the aha moments that we've missed?
Here's the first read, Emily. The funny thing, Rata is against changing of Roman Dutch law, yet his court is busy botching the Roman Dutch law that he upholds high. Abazange bathi ulonge wafika nabangane bakhe. Question, who are those people? For me, Zungu sounds like a person who's fighting hard to clear himself. Ikhona into of ngozungu. This is one first person. Please, the number that you should use is 071 153 7006. For
Did you
both
remove
WhatsApp, yes,
Yeah.
it's there. It's scrolling on the door. This one is removed. The number that you should use is 071 153 7006.
For both WhatsApp,
For both
and calling,
WhatsApp and
it's
calling.
one number now.
Yes.
That other one
Mzansi, hello.
no longer works.
Oh, wabaleka. Ubalekelani manje?
Hi, Fonan Bagit, Fonan. This is a revelation moment of putting the pieces together. We did say we are gonna digest them piece by piece. And we are going to have to re-look at this with fresh eyes after finding
There
out
we
what
go.
we found out.
Mzansi, hello.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, how are you?
Very well, very well. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm
and
alright,
you?
I'm alright.
Yeah, ngijonge Assembly.
Hi, siyaphila.
Yeah, ngikhuluma noNtalo lapha.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've just been following the case anyway, and I've just started following you guys, and I mean, I've also heard everybody appreciating what you guys are doing, breaking this and taking us back to this statement. I think there was a lot of confusion moving from like a testimony because it was at a time where when you say told the story, it was almost believable at the time because we had not realized that he was not there, he was making things up at the time, and we almost nailed them. The accused, thinking that he had spent the time with them, and the images that were being shown at the time, I think it was shown as if some of them were being seen stood with him when they went to a top and were taking pictures. So now that it's going back, it's really so disappointing. And where we are watching it, this gives a wider thing to show that the world is watching this, and it's unfortunate that this is what our justice system is being like sort of let to be seen as quite a broken system, really. And I wonder what Judge Rata is thinking as he sat there. Is he trying to create a way of them? He defends sort of applying for his removal, because I don't understand. I mean, I can't really dismiss his intelligence. He sounds to be an intelligent guy, but then what he's allowing to go through, and whenever, say, Osbanda are presenting, going through like sort of dragging, you never hear him say anything. He defends it in the smallest thing. Oh, you guys are wasting time, or you guys are this and whatever, and he's really impatient. With, like, if you listen to him, the moment it's cross-examination, he has these sounds that he makes of being fed up already before they even start. Oh, how am I taught? How am I taught? The kind of thinking what's going on.
Yeah.
And such witnesses coming through, and such statements, and him sometimes even helping witnesses like Zungu, protecting them when he mentioned that he had done his notes, and his notes were in KZN. He came back and he came up with a story, and I thought the judge would sort of say something about it, but it was just let to go under under the radar, and it has never been mentioned. And his credibility, I don't know whether he's genuine that he will make up his mind at the end of the case, or he has already made up his mind in a way that either Zungu is not a credible witness, or he believes what he's saying. It's sort of really a difficult one to understand why such would be allowed to go ahead. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I thought I would just put my 2 cents contribution in that regard, especially with this statement. And thank you once again for like sort of a reminder, and now looking at things and going back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really like shows how the lies and allegedly, like you always say,
allegedly.
it's quite well, it's quite disappointing really to see so much loopholes, and they're just being gone untested.
Yes.
And maybe the defense should get him back, or I don't know whether they are waiting for any argument, or when they open their case, then we will see them really challenge these loopholes in a stronger sense than, because I think Umnisi now has come back quite strong, and I'm hoping that he will maintain that sort of attitude into Ilokuzenia, because Umgomezulu is the one that was actually the only hope at the time. Now, hopefully, Nisi will pick this up and run with it.
Yes. Yes.
Because when he was cross-examined, I think Umgomezulu was not there yet.
Yes.
And it was a soft cross-examination from him, and he was quite arrogant. I think in my assessment, he was quite arrogant with his responses, and but then there was a lot to cover. He didn't want to allow the defense to really interrogate him.
Yes.
Yeah, he needs to
in
be
the full
recalled.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thanking you. Thank you for the opportunity anyway, that we are continuing to follow you, and we are behind you, and really thank you once again for
Thank you.
For the reminders, and then also the good job that you are doing, and to really ensure that justice is seen to be saved than what we are seeing happening in that courtroom.
Yes. Thank you, Sabongana. Mzansi, hello.
We are behind you, and really thank you again for that.
Okay, I pass. Mzansi, hello. When I can hear myself, I have to pass, guys. Please, Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anna.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. And you?
I'm great.
Great. Hello, Miss Emily.
Hello. Hi.
Yes. Yeah, you guys are speaking to Ntsigelelo here in the UK.
Hi, Tsigelo.
Yes, there's one thing that I've observed. I've been following you guys for quite a long time, and there's one thing that I've observed in the current case and Judge Benning. Now tries to compare things with what's going on with the Senzo Meyiwa case.
Yeah.
Ujudge Rata into ethethwa statement affidavit regard, and then he just takes whatever that is being spoken or whatever that is being said during the time on cross or in chief evidence in chief.
Yes.
And then he doesn't regard whatever that is what was actually said in the affidavit. And he likes to think, Woody, whatever that is being said at that moment, that is cast on stone.
Yeah.
But I regard the other one, which is as well as the same thing that, by law, I think, sorry, I'm not in law. I've never studied law, but I think if I go to the police and then did an affidavit, I'm saying that under oath as well.
Yes.
So that should be regarded as well, very well, as much as I would be coming. When I'm coming to say it in person, I would be coming to remind myself or to reiterate what I was saying when I was writing the affidavit. Judge doesn't do that.
Yes.
And which is one biggest flaw that I'm observing most of the time. And he seems to be coaching most of the guys that are coming through, and it's so bad, and it's a laughing stock, to be quite honest with you, because I'm watching. It's funny because I'm not watching the case by myself. I watch the case with my colleagues here in the UK, and I show them they are not South Africans, but they always, when we get to work, we always deliberate what we watch during the day and whatnot, and then they like, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is how, but I don't know the South African law. And then I'll try and explain it to them that our law is basically, because we were, apartheid was because of Britain and whatnot. So pretty much the law is the same. And then they were like, but why is he not saying this? Why is he not doing this? He seems to be biased when it comes to his state. And then when the defense is, bringing up questions, and then he seems to be hard on them, and then he seems, well, as much as he needs to be neutral in this whole situation. It's a shame, guys. I can't literally, put in any other words that the world is watching Judge Rata Siyabona. We know that you are watching Mzansi Reality because you do comment about what's going on in Mzansi Reality, even in court. And then you say, I'm a para and whatnot. So, but yeah, it's just that you need to be real. Sorry. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, Dokas. God bless you. Mzansi, hello.
Cheers.
Hello.
Mzansi, hello. How are you?
I'm good this morning. Hoping you're good as well.
Yes, we are good this side.
Yeah, it's lovely. I don't know where to start, but I will start by saying, after hearing what Ian Cameron said, it makes me not trust any cop anymore, because the police seems to be very, very corrupt. They seems to be very, very dodgy. He lied in Newsroom Africa, saying he never spoke with Patricia Mashale. And then Patricia Mashale exposed him. So I don't know who to trust in terms of police anymore. And all these brigadiers, I think they all have to be terminated. They all have to be crushed. I don't know, really. I don't know. Whether are we all safe in South Africa, or where are we really heading? Because because really, they seems to be very, very dodgy. They seems to be very, very dodgy.
Mm-hmm.
They lie in court. They lie in public space. They lie everywhere. I don't know whether they're really worth to be trusted. I don't know how many mkwanans we can get, because I don't know. Hoping Nitz is going to do better, is going to continue being strong as he does every day. Hopefully, he's our hope at the moment. He's our hope. Hoping those 5 accused guys, they will go free, because I don't think they did commit any crime concerning Senzo Meyiwa. I don't think they were to go to jail for that. And those guys who arrested them for nothing, they have to go to jail. One of them is Brigadier Kininda, the Valois, the Sbandas. They have to go to jail. I think so. I think they have to go to jail. After hearing what Cameroon said in the newsroom Africa about the so-called the whistleblowers, and Patricia Mashale exposed him. That he has been communicating with him. He has been giving him information. And he's saying he never spoke with him. He never spoke with her, actually. Cameroon said he never spoke with Patricia Mashale, while Patricia Mashale has been giving serious information and is lying on the public space. And it's really sad. But the fact you guys are doing a fantastic job, we really appreciate it. As Msans, I thank you.
Thank you. Jarinda. Number, if you called and you didn't find us, this is probably the right time. It's because someone was on a call. His number is 071-153 7006. Both for WhatsApp and direct calls. It's one number. Please call us. All is alleged, and the views of the callers are that of the callers, not the channel.
Yes.
And even those rules, they are alleged, because we don't have any, even those views are alleged because we don't have any information that is beyond what we know or what is known by public, and we discuss on the basis of that with hypotheses and all that, but all it is alleged. While I wait for you guys to call, I'm gonna go with the register. Multitasking. Mzansi Sikhametsi giving greetings to South Africa, all the way from Botswana. Right now I don't know where Sikhametsi is, where I don't remember actually, but it's all the way from Botswana. Shau, our member, good evening family. Zodwa Dlamini, and yes, the calls are still open, and please press the like button. And again, thank you to Dorcas for the gift. Thank you. Zodwa Dlamini, our member. Hello, good people. Dibuo Dumelang, Bonita. Hi fam, Lusanda Msila. Good evening fam. Vusutando Makobane. Good evening family. Mlilo, first one to like the video. Nda. But please press that like button. Just a reminder, as Mlilo is saying, that he's the first one to press the like button. Siba, hello family. Lindy Webembe, our member. Sanbonani Kaya, look all. Mnguni ati Sanbonani Emily Mr. Anonymous, and Nkosinati Zagwe, our member. So much surprise. Hi family. Hi Nkosinathi Zagwe. Don't be surprised. That means you're not here yesterday and before that. But yeah, we are continuing. The court is not closed this side. Rifilwe Mulele saying good evening. Are we at the morning already? Yeah, but basically that's it. Innocentia Hadebe, Molweni family, Petros Ntapo, hi Petros, Bongeni Msomi. I'm the first one to like the video. I don't know now who takes the title for the first one, because I think I read someone up there saying also is the first one. Pinkinziba, hey family, please guys on WhatsApp, we're there 071-153-7006. This number is still in my head, not yet sitting. Yeah. Lindiwe. Hi, Mr. Ano and Emily family. Yes, hi Lindiwe Ngomane 83. Good evening family. It's a good morning now, yeah, but at the time it was good morning. Bukamu so Diale, good evening Bahlali. Please press the like button, and it's a reminder to everyone, please press the like button. Po Demoho, hello family. Nomcebo Kamile Ndanga Mandla, hello family. Hello Nomcebo, it's been, I saw you yesterday. I think I didn't mention you, but or the day before yesterday, but I saw you. Thank you. It's nice to see you again. Makalela, hello guys of Mzansi. Ubani lona Claudi. Nkosiyami. That's a wrong one, guys. Number to call is 0711-537-006. That's the number to call. Be it WhatsApp or direct calls. The number to call is 0711-537-006. That's the number to call. So that you can be heard, because the number, if you call the older one, you're not going to be held. So right now someone is calling, but it's pointless to actually, I'm just opening so that you can hear. Please call the WhatsApp line of 071 number. It's scrolling below. That's the only number now that is going to be used. And then we have, let me see. We have Cavedo, Andres, evening family watching from, this is Namibia. Yes, I guess this is Namibia. Yes. Could be wrong. Not good with flags, but I know certain flags. Mamzita, our member, hello, my family. Yes, Mamzita, our Bagania, Usimpiwe. Yingwane. Good evening, my family of the Court of Public Opinion from the Morning Gang. Oh, the Morning Gang. Yes. Hello, Elisa Majuata. Hello, family. Ngolele Elisha. Uzongifundisa ngelinye. Hello, Elisha. Sbia. Elisa, sorry, not Elijah, Elisa. Sbia. Kulugutu usungaphakathi sine Lindeni Hadebe, hi family. Mthokozisilanga, sorry, our moderator Molo Mzansi, house yabonga Molo, and keep liking for Mthokozisi Bafethi, always reminds us to do so. Umpho uthi hi siphinda kabili. Chief Mkhonto, we are within phakathi inside wozani nazo basasazi bami. Thank you Chief Mkhonto. We appreciate you. Jeremiah Sibanda, Boitumele MC Master, EC Tau ati hi. SIZWE memory Shabangu ati hello my favorite people. Kanjaba Shabangu obani? I forgot, but I think I have neighbors from Shabangu. Kolani Junior Mkalipi, our member. Hi family, kunjani namhlanje? Hayi kunjengayizolo mfethu siyaphila, siyakhona siyaphambili. Teboho Mahuma ati sho Teboho ayivala nje kanjalo uTiyane Mpinga ati hello family, hello Tiyane. Dokas Shabalala, our member, hello family, hello Dokas. Siba, hello Siba Simpiwe Yingwan, I've mentioned you. Kapsile Kulu, press that like button and please, you called but you called the wrong number. Caller, please call the 071 number on WhatsApp 1537006. That's the number. Mamfuneka siyabonga sibanda skhatele right on time. Ukapsile Kulu na yethi run Mr. Ano. Ukapsile Kulu siyabonga Qabashe. Sehle njalo Busani Sibanda, our member, hello family, we heard Mr. No, be careful of those complaining. Maybe it's, I'm not gonna say the name, but thank you all again. It is alleged. Betty yes Mzansi hello
Sanibonani.
Yebo njani?
Siyaphila.
Yeah.
Emeli uyaphila.
Ngiyaphila, no complaints. Ninjani?
Siyaphila. Cha umfoka sibiya lo.
Yeah.
Angiphawuli lutho namhlanje, ngiphawulile izolo Mr.
Yebo.
Umhlobo wethu la othi ufone use-UK.
Yebo.
Uqhathanisa icala leli likamkhulu Ratha nelikambenga. Wenza iphutha elikhulu lapho. Bengithi nje asixoxisane lapho. Ngoba le kambengani inkantolo ihamba ngobufakazi, ihamba nange cross examination angithi.
Yebo.
Leya ngapha kuRatha kunento ekufanele siyinake, ihamba ngokushiwo istage. Ngoba uyayikhumbula Mr. Anonymous indaba yesankazi esithakathayo esiphahlukayo. Iyo ke le eyenza ukuthi azakukhumbuze mawufakazi estate athi no, kwenye inkantolo ngeke beze bebe nayo i-previous document, just put it on record. Ngamanye amazwi ukuthi sono lokho okushoyo wena unganaki statement. Because kwi-appeal court bazobe bengenaso leso statement, bazobe benalokho. Uyayizwa lento. That's why ke elwa uma i-cross examination isifuna ukupoint i-contradiction phakathi kwe-statement nokushoyo. Yikho ke lwezevimba ngoba yena usuke azi ukuthi kwi-appeal court si-statement sobe singekho, bazobe belalele lokho okushiwoyo. Nayi ke ingozi esihamba phe kwayo njengoba ngisho ukuthi asingayifananisi lezi inkantolo. Zehlukene. Kunzima kakhulu isalukazi esithakatha amasizwe sifike kwistage sokuphahluka. Ngoba ayikusuke kufiwa kuphela lapha kukho kusinda. Yebo cha ngiyabonga niyibambe kahle. Ngizaqhubeka naye ngibone nje ngoba kungangeni. Sengithi angilungise nje yansizwe ukuthi cha singayifananisi lezi inkantolo. Azifani.
Awuzebonga kakhulu. Inkantolo are not the same as inkantolo.
Courts are not the same.
Lezi inkantolo are not the same. The inkantolos, they are not inkantoling. Yeah. Keep on calling, guys. I see others are getting. There's something I did here that blocks you if. Yeah, but no, it's not supposed to do that, man. Keep on calling, guys. We are here. We are waiting for you. SIZWE 18. Siyabonga SIZWE. Stivovo. No Stivovo la. Singazike noma sekuwuye lo. Tangeni kaulu. Keep going. Tangeni kaulu. Hey madoda. Kwelakithi. Kwelakithi. Siyabonga Farai Sibanda. Farai siyabonga. Thank you. Ever present. Sibonga nje lokho. Press that like button, guys. 260. 400 people watching. Emmanuel Makanjera all the way from Zimbabwe, our neighbor. And we have Revak Chihande, and it is always good to get deeper insight in this case. Thank you very much, Mr. Ano and Sis Emily. Siyabonga Revak. Thank you. We thank you for being here. Shanji Westbanda, if I haven't mentioned you, if I have, it's good to be mentioned twice. Guys, keep them calls coming, or press the like button, or just do something for this channel. And then, yeah, Emil, anything before?
Nothing, man.
I mean, tomorrow is still a day.
Yeah.
I hope that the long statement, even Ramsabir read it and he drank water and he asked to drink water.
What, my lord? Just to take a sip of water. Huh? And then, no.
And then the court was like, no, you cannot sit down. He was answering on the basis of, hey, for a guy who listens, he makes a lot of mistakes when it comes to listening, though. Press that like button, let's reach 300, guys, so that we can bow out, because the calls ayakoza ke namhlanje singazi ukuthi kwenze njani. It happens ke ukuthi ezinye isikhathi these things, they just, I don't know what happens, but you find that people are calling but they're not going through networks. Baby pinky ubis. I'm joking, allegedly. Yeah, I'm joking. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Good evening, Mr. How are you?
I'm good. How's your side?
I'm good, my brother. Emily, how are you, my sister?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good also. Okay, guys, I have few questions here I want to ask. First of all, I want to ask about this case of Nongoma regarding Omtlan.
Uh-huh.
The reason I want to ask about this case, they were saying the guy was working permanently at mines.
Yes.
Yes, but how come does that case of Nongoma exist if the guy
Was
working in a mine, but still thinking of subs plus fingerprint? Landuka yokuqala leyo eyesibili ngiyakule ke ngokale ka-General LISHABANE. Yes, I think General LISHABANE from okuqala likade is in a good side kugeninda, is in a bad side kwe-defense.
Why?
Yeah, I think so. The reason I say this is because simply logic can tell how ugeninda indlela athetha ngayo noZungu uLishabane uvuke uba uGeneral LISHABANE nogeninda ikhona relationship plus no khona lo beauty general lo confession bankaden lo confession ngo general lo Mbotho,
yes.
Yeah, General Mbotho. Okay, it is all alleged because I have heard in the Gopana. Geninda once worked under General Law Stetangai. Mbotho.
Okay.
There was a phansi kwakhe kwicala lase Cleveland police station, sorry. Financially, outside of financially. Yeah, but okay, Mr. Ndifuna nje kwazi ngale ndawo kuxaxise ngale ithi into yobana usebenze but kune-case existayo underwena that iphinde usebenze mine and understand. And for the last part ke ngoku andifuna ukwazi ngoMakhumalo. Hey guys, did you ever maybe hear nge-statement sikaMakhumalo? Ndiyarhalela ukuva nje uba sithini i-statement sakhe as the person owayekhona apha endlini. I think somehow there will be a loophole or contradiction between yena noZungu nento ezithethwa ngoTumelo plus nabanye aba basendlini. Ndiyarhalela uva nje uMakhumalo ukuthi yakhe into guys ndisensebenzini I want to know. Okay, otherwise your job is very good, Mr. Anna. Keep on analyzing Emily. keep on, my sister, doing the good work. Yantanda, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Sebo.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Oh, Zabong. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Sibone. Oh, ma nisi. Siyabonga. Thembelani Khanye. Thank you. Ambrose Mbatha. Siyabonga. Kakhulu. Guys, if I did not answer, if I did not call your name, there's another time. There's always a time to learn. Mraul Mtrobole. Angeke ngishiye phela you are forever here. Mphatho Melam. Siyabonga. Mphatho Melam. Thank you very much. And again, if you haven't called, Zwazwazwa Gininda is the author of Zungu's entire affidavit. Allegedly, he must be held to get General LISHABANE into uncalled trouble. Hey, my daughter. Basimane, Atimboto, and Gininda are confession statement experts. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Hey, my daughter. Yes, please like the video, guys. Siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you very much. It's been a nice journey. Until tomorrow, same time, almost same time. Press that like button like you mean it. Hammer it. Do everything that is correct for this channel on this, and everything said here by the callers, views of the callers, and we have really nothing to do with them. Allegedly, to everything that is supposed to be allegedly covered in the name of allegedly. Even this channel is allegedly. We are also Mr. Anonymous, allegedly, Emily, allegedly.
Everything is alleged.
Yes. It's a bye from me, Emily. Anything from you?
Nothing from me, guys. I will see you tomorrow as we finish up with Zungu's testimony and statement.
Please finish up. Please.
Yeah, we're finishing it tomorrow. It's been a while, but yeah, it's been interesting revelations for me. I should have done this a long time ago if I knew it was this juicy. Alright, guys, see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to do the things like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until tomorrow, it's a bye from us.
Bye.